What up? What up? Welcome in. It's Friday. We're here. Welcome to Pregaming. 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. Holidays, low sports. We don't care. We're still trying to get paid. Love all you guys coming in, rocking with us on the regular. Man, we have been busy beavers the last couple of days here, grinding out this Europe action out there. We've been grinding out Copa action. We've been grinding out the MLB and the WNBA. We got tennis action out there. The dog days of summer, I think not. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. Hopefully you have been riding the streak. Woo! I tell you what, I don't like penalties. France, not the way I wanted to sweat out a pretty massive investment, but they did advance. France to advance gets us that cash out there. And we're running hot. If you guys checked out that Europe action that we recorded yesterday morning, we had the boys in the house. We had Lou Beccia rocking with us for the first time. We had Subhuman Gaucho. We had Dan Doherty out there from Down Under giving us them soccer looks. And the footy's been good. It's been good. Now, that Ecuador-Argentina shit show last night, not so good. The halftime draw, I know I tailed Mel's same game parlay in that action last night. It did not work out the way we wanted. 1-0 in the half. Then they let him score at the end. They should have lost that game. I'd have been fine if Argentina, you know what? You go to draw like that and you go into the penalty kicks, you should lose. At least if you're that big a favorite as Argentina was. But look, we had a really nice baseball day. Got a ton of cash going out there. We had some first five spots. The Angels continue to let me know. I'll tell you what, there's a whole bunch of new things in the works for you guys as far as some graphics are concerned. Your boy has been dialing in, trying to figure all this stuff out, and we will develop and deploy the poop list. And I say poop because we're just getting started. Fuck it, it's Friday. It's the shit list. We're going to get this shit list out there. We'll keep a running tally of what that's going to look like because the Angels are firmly atop the shit list. And I had taken, I don't even want to tell you guys, the last 4 games of beatings with these guys. Even this morning, I was fortunate to jump in on that under live with them Angels, but what are you going to do? Shout out to my guy, C. Miggity Mac Daddy. Had a night last night with the ribeyes there. The ribbies were hot. He and I were talking to you guys about them hitting props, and they were smacking. We went all up and down the board. Riley gets one done. Lowe gets one done. Oh, man, it was just, then we see Walker get some done. So sometimes you guys, it's important to listen to what's going on out here because just because we're not officially on a spot doesn't mean you can't go out there and get played. So we will get it done, trying to make it fun for you guys here. And again, graphics, new things under works and on their way. So we'll see how this evolves. I got some time this weekend to make sure we get it right. But it's all about getting the W's first and foremost. Thank you guys for coming in tonight. It's Friday. We know we got a busy weekend. It's the holiday. Maybe some of you guys and girls are off from yesterday, rolling it right through. So we'll try to keep it brief. Yesterday, we had the earlier show so we could give you guys some of that action to attack. And hopefully you did just that. But 6 p.m. is the time slot. You guys know the deal. But I need your help. Takes the village to raise this thing here. And the like button is first and foremost, you guys, if you haven't hit it already, please do so. I know you guys are really good about that. We see this video grows over time throughout the night. And if you're coming back in there, pop that thumbs up button. It does help a ton. I do suspect here in the dog days, we'll probably drop off on some viewers as you guys and girls are doing your thing. And rightfully so. It's the summertime. Enjoy it. You should. Maybe you don't have time to scrub the card. Try to find the spots. And that's what we're here for. We'll scrub this thing for you guys. We'll show you where the best bets are or what we think they are anyways. And, man, tennis, we got a we're pending in tennis. We're pending tomorrow with our guy, Humbert. He's beating him up. We got nice value on that spot. But we got to wait until tomorrow morning to officially get that cash. He's up 2-1. They're tied 6-6. And I guess we got to wait till like 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, East Coast time to officially bring that thing home. So hopefully we will. We can't count it till it's in the till, but it's looking pretty good. And tennis action I have. In fact, I've got a larger than expected card for you guys tonight. The games that I'm looking to tackle, the St. Louis national spot. It's Patrick Corbin Day. We got the Boston Yankees melee out there. Lots of fun in that AL East battle. Miami and the White Sox, big opportunity there. We're going to look at this Detroit and Cincinnati game. We'll give you guys a ribeye in that spot. Houston and Minnesota. Why not? Let's talk a little bit about the Nerfy-Yerfy game. Let's talk about this Minnesota and under. Grandma, she's wearing your sister's panties again. We're going to talk about that spot. We got Kansas City, Colorado, Toronto, Seattle. And then I got to see a couple of things here, but I believe it's going to be Arizona and San Diego that we'll talk about. Copa, Venezuela, Canada tonight. I'm not going to leave you guys high and dry. We'll take a spot there. Got some steam report coming in, some steam action. And then I've got three tennis plays for you folks here for the overnight, or I guess super early, depending on if you want to get up at 4 a.m. and sweat this stuff out. But we'll talk about the Giovanni Pericard, Emil Rosavari. We'll talk about Francisco Comisana and Lorenzo Mazzetti. And then we'll bring it home with a women's tennis action there between Collins and Haddad Maya. Couple, three spots, 4 plays. And I'll tell you exactly how I'm trying to get paid in those plays right there. But thank you guys all for coming in. It means a ton. I know we're in that summer time. So love you guys coming in, sitting there, hanging out with us tonight. You guys know the deal. 3 things you need to do. First and foremost, hit that thumbs up. Grab a pen and paper, especially when we're talking about these late night soccer games. We got early morning tennis action, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to clip the next 2 spots from the live stream we did yesterday morning to give you guys that footy action out there. Tomorrow we got some big games rolling, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see if we can get that cash here. Your boy here, Pimp Slap BOD, he's having himself a little start with that Europe action from the plays that we did last night, and I'm looking forward to rolling it again, or yesterday morning, I guess. And of course, grab that pen and paper, write those plays down, and share them in the chat. I want to see what you guys are on here, especially now where we've got to navigate these dog days. We need you guys more than ever to share your looks, share your trends, share your pitfalls, share everything that you guys have out there. If we scrub this card all day to try to find a way to get paid. And get paid, I think we do tonight. Plus money galore. It's been a nice week so far. And we just want to finish it off strong. Got to finish it off strong tonight. We'll have ourselves a weekend. And, I guess I'd have to see what your guys' thoughts are as far as the Copa spots tomorrow. Because with no UFC, we really don't have much going on in the world of MMA. So if you do want us to do a live stream, I'm going to need you guys to let me know by way of showing the support here and commenting on this video. I was thinking about a day off in there. I got a bunch of things to do. I wouldn't mind going out and getting after it on a Saturday night in the middle of the summer. But if you guys want it, we will come back. I know it's probably a good time to let everybody get a little time off and regroup, recharge, and then attack next week. But anyhow, that's all coming down the road. We got some action here at 6:40, so we got to get moving. You guys know the deal. Let's see what's doing in the chat. And surprise, surprise. Numero uno commenter in the chat is my guy, Joe T. Joe T came on show yesterday. First time getting him on live, talking with you guys about this stuff. And he delivered the goods in that soccer action there. Got some overs. He was talking about goals, and he got some goals. I know he did some parlay action. We were talking a little bit afterwards about how he was attacking. And he's giving you his action tonight. His best bet is the White Sox and the Marlins over 8. This is 31-11 to the over in Miami home games. Ride that trend in 5 straight overs. Killed it. Last on screen, first on pre-gaming. Almost swept the board. Almost. But good action nonetheless. All about trying to share with you guys the best spots we have and trying to bring the gurus in to get it done for us. Dear Slayer Ski says, hey, Mikey, Spain got up today. LFG. He's on England to advance tomorrow, as stated in way too many parlays. Taking a piece of the Orioles tonight. Them fuckers owe me. I'll say it for you, dear Slayer Ski. It's great to see you, my guy. Thank you very much. There's my guy, Justin McCalvey, rocking with us here. The Stacks POD. He's going to the Padres over 8.5 for our guy, Stacks. We'll be talking about that game tonight. Joey Harb, it's good to see you. Kenny Wood, Fletcher Berry. And there's Lou Betcha. Lou Betcha. Soccer is dumb and I hate it. I don't know. I mean, I was a little nervous. I saw Subhuman texting me about our DMing about the Portugal getting the job done in extras there. I said, boy, I hope not. Boy, I hope not. I was way too invested in France, but away we go. There's Nasty Nate, the mechanic in the house. He says, hit the like and bets will cash. That's just good business sense right there, ain't it? Bless the action, you guys. It only takes a second. Help us do just that. You guys have been great with the comments and going back and forth, hitting the thumbs up. All of that stuff helps us continue to grow this thing and get more eyeballs on it so that we can get to that 500 sub mark and try to really get some analytics and start to analyze the information that you guys want based on viewership and all the AI tools that YouTube has to offer. So who would have thought I was talking about that? But you guys want it. You guys, the community's looking for it. We'll find a way to give it to you out there. There's my guy, John C. Says, Mike, what do you think of the over in the Royals and Rockies game? We will talk about that, John, for sure. Trisha M in the house says, hell, I look at this guy, Moolah, works on holidays and beyond. I think he really does like money. Fucking A right, Trisha M. My money don't care if it's a holiday. It just needs to get in the bank account. And there's Subhuman. There's Sub. What up, Sub? Let's go. Gerald Jones says, let's go stack some best bet. Here we go. Best bet for Gerald Jones. He likes the Diamondbacks Padres over 8.5. Cash both unders in the soccer action, straight up and parlay. Also have under Canada and Venezuela under 2.5. Says, let's go. Let's go out there. It seems like you guys are starting to like some of this footy stuff. We're talking about this tennis stuff. I mean, who doesn't like money, right? Who doesn't like money? Let's go. There we go. Justin McCalvey. I think Justin McCalvey deep down is a Skeens guy. He's got boots on the ground for Skeens Day. He's on the Mets plus 112 and the Mets plus 3 over 3.5 team total. I like that spot, Justin. I do. It's an early game, but I was thinking, traditional lower scoring. And I like the Mets to go out there and get the job done. There's Juggler 23 in the house. Tyler Glass now 34-8, up almost 14 units as a favorite of minus 166 and higher in the last 5 seasons, including 20-4 in home starts. Well, let me write that one down. Love to see those kind of big numbers. I gotta give myself a little note for the trends is what I write down there for you guys. So I want to make sure that I can account for those and put them into my system. Trisha M, that beautiful shit show cashed real nice for me. Ecuador scored and the ATM slot opened up. It was a shit show. Right at the end of this thing, right? Winner's Circle. What up, Winner's Circle? It's good to see you, my guy. Aces minus 4.5. Reese over 12.5 rebounds and Skeens. There you go. There's a little cross sport parlay for Winner's Circle. Love to see that. Oldie says, had a ton of exposure on the Cubs, cashed everything, chilling here from here on in, says Oldie. Congrats to you, Oldie. Sub says some wins, some losses this afternoon. Just glad to cash his bigger bet fading. I remember that one. I talked to that one. I was talking to Dan Doherty this morning about that. Our morning. I guess it was his morning too. It was around 4 a.m. I said, yeah, I remember Sub had that one. And yeah, I think we called it the fade I don't remember what it was. Fade the favorites. Mbappe and Ronaldo, no goals, and the under 2.5 for Sub. Big casher there. And Juggler 23 bringing the goods. So his favorites are 16-1, 94.1% plus 13.4 units in the last 16 games between Milwaukee and the Dodgers. Woo! Woo! RVD 420 says, what's up, Mikey M? Where do you find teams to advance on DraftKings? It's a great question. So when you go into soccer, when you go into, in this case, we'll use Copa America. Click it on Venezuela and Canada. It's going to bring you right in there. So when you get right off the gate, it shows you popular. It's the third line down. So the first one's the money line. Guys, remember, that's regulation time. 3-way bets. So think about it like in hockey. Is it a draw after the regulation time, right? Does it go to overtime? Now you got the draw, no bet. So in this case, you're taking it from three-way to 2-way, and you're saying, hey, are they going to win this thing in regulation time? If they don't, they'll give you your money back. Just now, as I say that, the line just moved from minus 105 for Canada to plus 100 just now, literally just now. And then below that one is 2 advance, RVD 420. The third line down is 2 advance. It's Venezuela at minus 125, Canada at minus 105. That just takes it all into account. Don't matter if they do it in regulation. Don't matter if it goes to penalty kicks. Just get the job done. And that's, typically you're going to find, probably lesser odds there. Or I guess maybe it's greater odds. Greater odds is probably the better way to look at it here, because we're talking about, you're not going to get as much bang for your buck because you're just counting on the team to move to the next round. But hey, sometimes if you think that team's got that much more of an edge, forget the whistles. Forget what happens in the extra spots out there. Just hope that they move on and win when it's all said and done. So that's a great question. Fernando Mendoza says, cashed out draw halftime in France goalkeeper to have 3 or more saves. There he goes. There we go. Jay Peasy's in the house, guys. Make sure you check out Jay Peasy's video of the day. We'll have an update for you guys as well going into next week here. I got the plays tallied. I got to get the records rolling so we can see what everybody's doing. But he is taking action tonight. He's looking at the Phillies and Atlanta Braves game. So make sure you get out there and check out what Jay Peasy's doing. I mean, this guy's getting up early, taking the time to record something. All you got to do is hit that thumbs up and give a comment. Tell him if you like his play. Tell him if there's a trend or something you like on the other side of it. We love seeing that stuff out there. And Juggler 23. Top plays in MLB for tonight. MLB's got Yankees, Boston under 8 runs, 4 units. Boston Yankees Nerfy for 4 units for Juggler 23. I might have to add to my Boston card. I was just debating you guys will see the card. There's some spots that I really thought the matchups made sense to go out there and attack. Sub says, like the under as well, Gerald Jones. Probably find my way to Venezuela draw, no bet. Kind of thinking that too, Sub. Kind of thinking that too. We'll talk about it. Trisha M says, Fernando Mendoza, sport is wild. I parlayed a tie and cashed. Rolled all the profits into Venezuela. Wish me luck. Be life-changing to have a Venezuela put money in my pocket. Venezuela. Made in Philly says Venezuela will get it. Fernando says, Trisha M, it really is. I bet that was good plus money. Keep getting that cash. And then asking if she took Venezuela. Made in Philly says Canada's trash. Love the name Made in Philly. That gets me excited. Yeah, there's a couple of you guys with these Philly names that jack me up. Joseph Alvarado says, what is up, Pimp? My guy holding it down in Chi-Town. Appreciate you rocking with us. Gerald Jones. Always best bet side Reds minus 125. I like that spot too. We'll talk about that game. Vitalis in the house says they saying Gaussman and Bluebirds pushing in tonight. I don't know what that means. Pushing in. Fuck Gaussman. Vitalis, you know my feeling on that guy. Pushing in. I wonder if that means that he thinks that they're going to stop. I wonder if he thinks they're going to stop. Joseph Alvarado says, money hose and kilos, baby. That sounds good. That sounds like a fun weekend. Nasty Nate says, I'll give you the night off Saturday, Mike. Oh, what a gentleman. What a kind gentleman out there. Trisha M says, indeed, plus 680. Venezuela money line. Small edge on the draw, but I'm all in on regular time domination. Their goalie is fantastic, and Canada skid in there on luck. There's Michael Blaine in the house. Says, Mikey, what's good? No, your UFC stinks. It does. It does. We'll give the books a week off, though. Let them cash some of these over bettors action and in the Copa and recharge the tills there so that we can go take it next week. Michael Plana. Goldie says, I can't figure out this Mets line movement. Not going to force anything. Darius Moore says, Wona. Jewel POD 0-1. That's all right. It's a long grind. It's always, there's always that mental anguish when you put that first play out there. Like, I got to. You're not 1 play. You're not 5 plays. You're not 10 plays. You're not even 100 plays. That's why I always think it's funny look, I like a good streak as much as the next person, but, I've done this in my last 3 days. Okay. What have you done in your last 6 months? Right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. Anybody can have a nice little streak, but are you down 200 units still? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to look at it. So hang in there, Darius Moore. You grind and you win. And that's what it's all about. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It ain't easy. Shit ain't easy. You got to grind every day. There's no days off in this business. Come on now. Dana Dupp says, suck, guys. Reds are 6-2 last 8 first games in a series. But he is giving us, Darius Moore is coming back with the Jewel POD, the Rockies money line. Fernando Mendoza says, Trisha, I'm okay. I see you chasing that plus money. Don't hate it. I'm going to go after play props. Just need the lineups confirmed. Trisha M says, that sports money, that's a damn good point. I never had an ATM ask me, was this deposit earned on a holiday weekend? It just suck it in and says, thanks. Here we go. Darius Moore. Pittsburgh Yankees money line. Guess we shall see, he says out there. Trisha M says, no chase. I like team versus other, but appreciate any input. Cliff Yang in the house says, what up, Mike? Let's get that money. RVD was got it, Mike. Thanks, of course. OD says, sub, what up, dude? Trap God says, Canada is ranked higher than Venezuela in FIFA rankings. And, and Jay Peasy busted it out like nobody else. I mean, that's it. That's it. Gerald Jones says, keep head up, bro. 99.5% of sports bettors lose long term. Stephen Harrison given the Astros money line. All right, guys, let's get into this thing here. I appreciate all you guys, as I said, coming out, hanging out with us, rocking and rolling and trying to get paid, right? So let's do just that. We're here to get some money. I had to make some adjustments. Lots of things are in the adjustment stages right now. Some of the crews working on the office. Some of the crews working on the scrubbing. Some of the crews working on the records. Some of the crews working on the graphics. There's a lot of things happening out there, you guys. So we appreciate you rocking and taking this journey with us. 6:45 p.m. Our journey begins tonight with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Washington Nationals here. We've got ourselves. Whoop, let me move this here. I had this crink in my neck, and I had to make the determination that maybe it's because I'm sideways looking at shit all the time. So let me try to center things out a little bit here. But neither here nor there. Oh, and by the way, new mouse report. The new mouse is in. Just took me forever to say, fuck that old mouse. And I threw it right in the garbage. It was a new mouse, but I threw it right in the garbage. I didn't want to see it anymore. So we got a new mouse, and it's been working great. Definitely taking the time to get Amazon Prime, and the game made a lot of sense here. This line opened up with the Cardinals as hefty road favorites, probably because it's Patrick Corbin Day. Minus 184 has moved to minus 157. We have 76% of the bets and 80% of the cash on the cards. The line has dropped almost 30 cents. And so is this total, a full run. 80% of the bets and 81% of the cash on the over. I'm also going to reference this one. 86% of the bets and 70% of the cash on the run line on the minus 1.5. Guys, you know the deal here with the show. I'm going to share with you how I'm playing the games, but take all this stuff into account because just because I'm opting to, swing for the fences in some spots doesn't mean that there's not a way for you to try to create something of your own. It's all about creativity and finding things that, frankly, nobody else is on. Hide that there. Let's see what we got. That new mouse, that wasn't a rat. It was just a piece of shit, Trisha M. And it went right to the garbage. Trisha M says, PZ, I got a play of the day idea for you. We'll message on X. I love it. I love everybody working each other to help each other out. That's what this is all about, man. Taking the time to share the love. Some of you guys are super creative. Others, we're not. We need everybody's help to make this thing work. Here's what I know. We can all win. We've all been doing a great job of it. We've all worked together for so long to analyze trends and angles that it only makes sense that we try to work together here. Let's talk about this game here with Patty Corbin, 5.5 ERA, 1-8 on the season. And then Sonny Gray, 2.98 ERA, 9-5 on the season. I think the thing that's most remarkable here is, two things, I guess. We look at Patrick Corbin, first and foremost. You look at what's going on, and everybody last year was on the fade train. He had that Tommy John surgery. He just couldn't come back and figure it out. But the last couple games, we've extracted some cash from Patty Corbin on his side, on him going out there and holding it down. He's allowed 7 earned runs, 2 home runs over his last 2 starts, though. His numbers are regressing. I mentioned that 5.5 ERA, a 1.53 whip for this guy. But the Undall neutralizer, the Cardinals are terrible against lefties. What did they do just yesterday? It was Martin Perez Day. There's another bag of shit. They got a 2.95 OBA. They struck out 23.4% of the time over the past week. Second lowest team OBA at a .272 against lefties on the season. And I'm not saying Corbin's going to go out there and mow these guys down, but I do like what's going on with Sonny Gray. When you look at this thing, his last 7 starts specifically against the Nationals, he's been doing pretty well. Then you look at what's going on. The Nationals 285 OBA, a terrible 103 ISO. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. They don't strike out a lot, and that's a problem, because Patrick Corbin doesn't strike out a ton either. But look, this under's juiced. This under's coming down. It's coming down for a reason. And I think this is worth noting for us here. There's 2 ways that I'm attacking this game. I'm taking the under 5. It's a little juiced at -125. Your risk reward calculations, the numbers that I see right now, let's look at this total. BetMGM still has the 5, and there's 4.5 everywhere else. And they're pretty much even money. Caesars, Bet Rivers have even money spots out there. If you want to roll the dice on this one and take the 4.5, that's great. If you have the option to pay up to the 5, I would take that. I locked in the 5, as I said, at the 125. I think in terms of just a lack of consistency in batting, that was the way, option 1, the way I wanted to attack. And then you'll see this special little nugget there. The St. Louis -1.5 and the under 8.5. I like St. Louis -1.5. That's specifically why I read those numbers out to you guys. This thing opened up for the full game, and the numbers have now come down significantly. I mentioned that +160. It's now down to +105, +102s, +100s. There's even a -105 out there for St. Louis. Why do you think that is? Well, let me tell you. When you got a dog over a +125. Back-to-back wins, the Nationals. 5-17 on the run line, and they're getting busted up by 2. If the starter lost that last game. So this is specifically playing on Corbin after these dogs have come out there and found a way to get some victories. 5-17 on the run line. Also, dogs off a win, and their pitcher had the quality start. Why is that important? Because it's not necessarily that they shoved with the bats. It's not like the bats were electric. The pitcher just held everybody down. What do they do in those spots? The dog off that win, pitcher and the quality start are 5-30 on the run line. They're losing by almost 3 runs a game in those spots. Now, the flip side of this one here, and why did I not take the -1.5 and I opted to package the 2 together? Because at the end of the day, the Cardinals don't back up, extra inning win spots very well. They've gone 0-7 on the road after they have an extra inning win spot. So I think the value has definitely been extracted out of that run line now. I mean, what are you going to do? Like 2.5? You really want? I'm not getting in the 2.5 business here. I want low runs in the first 5. We talked about how poor these batters have been performing. And then I packaged the 2 together and expecting we just don't see a shit ton of runs in this game here to get that -1.5 in the under 8.5. And that boosts that value back up to almost 3.5 times our money on this opportunity. If we get the first 5 under, we're playing with house money to try to go out there and turn that, 2-unit spot into, 4.5 units. And that's the game. We talked about the numbers. We talked about how we have to go after it and get those opportunities to cast that wider net. And I think this is, again, the mathematics that go into this thing. Matty Ice in the house. What up, Matty Ice? It's great to see the taint master himself, the king of the taint. Nobody works the taint better than Matty Ice. And he's got the taint play of the day for you guys here in person. Matty Ice, it's great to see you, dude. I hope you're having a great summer. And he's got the Braves, first 5, -0.5, even money. Extracting maximum value. I love it. Taking that +100 spot. He's not going to drop -130s or -140s. He found the edge, and he's going to attack it. And he's going to put that unit on the line. It's great to see you, Matty Ice. Appreciate, respect you coming in, my guy. AOD in the house is Mike M. the Machine. Matty Ice says, Mike, let me ask you this. Would you rather take Nats +2.5 or St. Louis -1.5? St. Louis -1.5. I would rather take St. Louis -2.5 than the Nats +2.5. Just because of that margin of victory. Somewhere in there's probably the right spot. Maybe the 2. But that run line, so here's the thing with that run line and the margin of victory that I was saying, 2 to 3 runs. That's on top of the 1.5. That's on top of the run line. So theoretically, they should win this thing by 4 runs. And I'm telling you, I don't think the Nationals are going to score. So I would go to the St. Louis side more so than I went to the Nat side. But whew, that was a good question. I wasn't expecting to see that. But I love it. I love it. AOD's giving, or Matty Ice is giving AOD the shout out. Stephen Harrison says, I don't believe in this Cardinals team at all. I think the Nats get the gray, but we will see. We will see. We will certainly see. Ricky Levine giving Matty Ice the shout out. And Zoe Faye in the house. Zoe Faye. The Iceman cometh. The Iceman cometh. We love to see that. Good to see Zoe Faye chatting away in the house there. Good to see celebrity in here. Everyone's giving him that shout out. Stephen Harrison. So when I see Noah as a dog, I'm backing him every time. When he's a favorite is when I don't care to back him. Stephen Harrison likes the Phillies tonight. Love the angle. I love the look. Gerald Jones says, got a tail. Taint. Big up, bro. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's game number 1. It's a double spot for you guys. Let's go to game number 2. This is the one that I thought about. I'm gonna have to add. I got 14 plays on the card today. I mean, look, when you're winning, you gotta. I practice what I preach. I'm not gonna sit back and be safe and try not to give a unit back. We talked about the math earlier this week for you guys, and we'll talk more about stuff like that. You know, we were talking a little bit about the MMA side of things and talking specifically about how we go and attack the card there, because I know a lot of you guys and girls think, you know, you don't have to play every game. And you know what? I'm watching every fight. I'm going to find a way, and we'll show you, you know, kind of the formula of how we attack the spots and, you know, just the way that we approach the card to be profitable. And nobody's been more profitable than the Saturday. I stand by it. I mean, nobody has been more profitable than our Saturday streams. And it also makes it fun. You know, you can put a couple dollars on. Now, do those dollars add up over time? They do. But when the full unit goes on something, it don't even matter. It's a fucking rounding error. It's a rounding error at that point. So anyways, something that we were thinking about if you guys are so inclined. But also, if you guys have questions or you're looking at anything or you want to talk about anything out there, make sure you put that stuff in the comments, because we are very much in the lab trying to figure out the best content to give you guys. And it's your content. It's what you guys want. So if you want to look at different ways that we money manage, you want to look at ways that we, cap games or things that we're looking at, I try to share that stuff with you guys and be pretty transparent. But I don't know. Love to have you guys come in and talk about some things that you guys do as well. So hit me up on DM and X there, and let's talk. Let's get the conversation started. Let's get the party started here. Let's go out to the Bronx, Yankee Stadium. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees. Line moved from -142 slightly to -140. Line stabilization in this case. It's moved 2 cents away from the Yankees. It's moved 8 cents away from the Red Sox. So when I talk about line stabilization, you guys have heard me say it enough. This is more about like somebody opened the number, and then the sharper books that come in there without the limits, when they finally take those off, they're readjusting their number based on the early buying behavior that they're seeing. It's not so much, I think it's just that they don't feel that the price was right or the AI tools. I figure there's got to be, I don't know this for sure. I just surmise that based on there's got to be like 3 AI tools that all these big sports books have the access to, and they just decide, do I want this one, that one, or the other one, right? Which one do I want to get involved with? And then they set their market accordingly. But they're all probably working with similar data is kind of the way I envision this thing. That being said, though, line stabilization, 76% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the Yankees. The big part there is there really isn't much movement on the Yankees with all that cash coming in on the Friday hometown favorite. The total's on the up creep, 92% of the bets, 91% of the cash. Actually, I lied. It's not moving either. That's not moving either. 92% of the bets, 91% of the cash on the Yankees. Starting pitchers, nasty. Nestor Cortez, 3.51 ERA. He's 4-7 on the season. And then Tanner Houck, 2.68 ERA, 7.6 on the season. When I initially approached this thing, I looked at this and I thought, man, the first time since 1948 was the number that the Cincinnati Reds came out there and swept the Yankees on the road? Reds aren't that great right now. I mean, they got some things going on. They got to work on some things, but this is truly that Yankees just broken spot right now. On the flip side, the Red Sox went on down to Miami and kicked the shit out of that Miami Marlins team. 8-3, 7-2, 6-5 that last game, and then they get the hell out of town yesterday and they roll on up to the Bronx for a big AL East battle. They have been paddling away on this Yankees team this season, and frankly, the last 2 seasons out there. I took a double dip opportunity for this game. Let me drop this one out there. 2. Drop that out there. 2. Double dipper spot. Here's where I was thinking about the ad. When I saw the ad for the 8 there, the under 8, that was a first cut for me, the under 8. So if I can keep this show rolling and get moving, then I will have an opportunity to go back and look at this because, when I was looking at these 2 guys particularly, I guess my big concern, my big question mark is, what are we going to see from Tanner Houck? He's the guy that I'm most concerned with. Now, the numbers that I see specifically indicate that he's got a nice little bounce back spot. We see that both these teams from a hitting perspective are kind of middle tier right now. Granted, that Red Sox team had a tremendous series out there. But again, I believe the Yanks are broken. We just talked about that sweep against the Reds. Why am I concerned about Tanner Houck? Because as much as he's got a nice ERA when you look at it on the surface, right, the 2.85, he's almost a 6 in his last 3 starts. So he's definitely trending 2.68. 2.68 to a 5.94 in his last 3 starts. Something ain't right there either. But the big spot for me is the bounce back opportunity when you got a team off a win in the Red Sox. The starter threw less innings his last start, but a quality one before that. It's that bounce back opportunity that we have cashed on so many times. And I'm putting these 2 together. The Red Sox have won 8 straight road games in a row if they played the previous day. They are road warriors. They don't care if they have rest or they don't. And they're coming off of feeling good and feeling alive going into this Yankees game for their biggest rivalry in their franchise history out there. I like the first 5 under. I am banking here on these guys finding a way. The Steam report has come in, and it showed me that this number is on the downtick. We're seeing that there's been some heavy, sharp buying throughout the evening into the morning, and this thing's now as high as minus 132 on the first 5 under 4.5. The good news, it's FanDuel that has the worst number. That's always a big spot for me to consider. Then I went to the Red Sox. I like this team in the format they're in right now, in the bounce back opportunity, or not bounce back, but the pitching bounce back. I think they hold them down. I think it's a lower scoring game, and I think that the hotter bats will prevail. And the price is just too nice not to go take advantage of it here. I realized I shorted you guys on this thing here. Let me pull up this record so I can tell you guys exactly what that starter bounce back spot is. 37-4. 37-4 it is when the starter's coming off. The team have a win. Starter, not a great start as last time, but a quality start before that. The bounce back. Isolate that bad spot. They bounce back, and it's been that 37-4 spot. Now, you could look at that and say, I want to take the Boston Red Sox first 5, or Red Sox first 5 in that case, but I opted for the 4.5 just because of these bats. Both these bats are like, sub mid 2.50s for their OBA spots out there. So they're just not hitting. They're not seeing the ball well collectively as a whole. And that's the way I'm going to go after this one here. The Red Sox, I love that plus 120 spot. And I'll pay a little more juice than if that's the only thing you can get right now, I would consider the 4 just to keep the push and play. I wouldn't lay that minus 140s if that's the number. So just keep your eyes on it. We're still about 20 minutes away from first pitch in this thing. And that's going to be important. I've said pitch between soccer and baseball in the last 4 days. Probably more than I've said it in the last, at least the last 6 months. At least the last 6 months. Matty Ice says, Mike, did you talk about Boz yet? I don't believe I have. No worries, Matty Ice. Good to see you, though. Always appreciate you coming in. Ricky Bobby says, no, St. Louis was the first game at Matty Ice. Yeah, St. Louis. Thank you guys helping each other out. I'd love to see it. Michael Blana says, if you're not showing up for the Saturday UFC stream, then you're just missing out on the free money. It's fucking true, man. Was it you that one of you guys picked up a small bank on 2 fights just driving home? I love it. I laugh because it's we like it personally. Professionally, we cash the shit out of it, and it's always a lot of fun. Plus, I like watching grown men kick each other in the face and see the blood flowing out of their nose when they start leaking. Stephen Harrison says, I'm fading the Yankees team. My Yankees team until they show me otherwise. He's on Boston. And Oldie says, this is such a great Friday card. I agree. That's why I had to open up. Oldie. Stephen Harrison, the Yankees in this lineup is bad. Dana Delp says, what was it the Yankees look ahead at Boston? I don't know. That's a good question, Dana Delp. That's a good question. JPC says last time Red Sox won on Friday on the road was April 5th in Anaheim, 3-11 on Fridays. But the Yankees suck so bad it's hard. Man, that's a JPC. We know you're the king of the Red Sox on Sunday spot. So hearing the Friday spot definitely gives me a little angst out there. Things tense up just a little bit. Oldie says, or Trisha M says, Oldie, I set the vibes for you, but need the Florida juju towards Venezuela tonight. Gerald Jones says, on the over in the Red Sox Yankees. Autoplay as a Red Sox fan. Okay. Oldies, Trisha M. Venezuela moves on. Don't even stress. We got this. Gerald Jones says, Houck has given up a lot solo homers the last 3 starts. He has. I mean, that ERA is terrible. That ERA is terrible. Now it's double, right? It's double where he's been. But Juggler 23 says, we have some sharp cappers in the UFC stream. God damn, we do. Man. And it's so much fun when we start making all that money. And then live betting on top of it. Finding those spots. Oh, man. It's fun when we all work together. That's when the bookies need to be put on blast. All right, let's keep rolling. We got another game that we'll talk about here for you guys. Look, at this one's probably, not as glamorous as some of the other spots out there. I'm not messing around with the side in this game. I mean, I do believe the Yankees or the White Sox bats are coming back to form. But the spot that I got to look at here, we got this Marlins team opened up at -118, 74% of the bets and 68% of the cash on the Marlins. The total's got 77% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the over. We've got the Torpedo with a 4.43 ERA. He's 2-1 on the season. We've got Hoeing going for Miami, 1.83 ERA, 0-0 on the season. And I don't know about this first 5 number. This first 5 number should have been like 3.5 in my opinion. Right now I see -120s, -114s, -125, -110s. We know we talked about it. We were riding that train, cashing those spots out there specifically with those White Sox first 5 unders. It was like an autoplay for a week for us after that. After they win, though, they're terrible. 9 and 15 spots. They're just not they just don't have a lot of good things moving right now. Now, post All-Star break, that might change. And by the way, July 15th, Home Run Derby. We're going to do a live stream for the Home Run Derby. So any of you guys and girls that are interested in trying to get that cash on that, we made some great money last year, some +600, some 900, some 1,800 spots out there. A little different pace for that kind of stuff, but still a good opportunity, still a lot of fun. So July 15th is a Monday for the Home Run Derby. We will be going live. Torpedo. Teams are 4 for 39 against this guy. In the last 2 weeks, he's 3rd best in all of Major League Baseball. It's crazy. Got to follow this guy here. Doing a little research, I heard some trends earlier today or some stats about this guy earlier today. Recently, some of his numbers, maybe not the best, but the thing was, he was a highlighted key piece. Specifically, this guy's been traded. This is his 3rd team on the season, and he was involved with huge trade processes that were going down this year with big names, and everybody wanted this asset in their club. So not going to jump in, though, specifically. You look at these 2 teams. Ultimately, I went to the first 5 under simply because Miami's terrible in interleague play. They're 9 and 24. The White Sox are bad on the road. They're 12 and 40. And both these teams are hitting like shit right now. Plus, talk about those sub 250 OBAs, 228 against righties, 211 for Miami. Bad spots for these guys to go out there and hit the ball. And we don't have movement despite all that cash coming in on the White Sox. I had to jump in there and take this spot for me. White Sox first 5, under 4. I got to pick up the pace, you guys. We got a lot of games left. We got a lot of games left. So let's get rolling. I got to get some of this action in too. So we got to get moving. 7:10 p.m. We got the Tigers and the Reds rolling out there, and the Reds were also a cut on the floor for me. -116 now, -120. I see that. Now I want to think about getting back in on it. 77% of the bets, 83% of the cash on the Reds, and this total's dropping. Started from a 9, it's down to 8.5. So we have 65% of the bets and 66% of the action on the over. Spires, 3.13 ERA, 2-1 on the season. And there's Olsen for the Tigers, 3.33, 2-8 on the season. This is a tricky spot. I wanted to get in the Reds, especially seeing the line movement out there. After they win, they suck against the AL Central, though. They lost 9 straight home games in a row after they won against AL Central teams. And we know that was a huge series for them coming off that Yankee sweep that we just talked about. I kept it simple. This number doesn't make sense to me. I just got to go back to Johnny India. This guy for the RBI is priced at plus 210. I don't understand it. All he does is go out there and get doubles. He's knocking in runs. I do think this is a game where we do see some higher scoring. I don't think that either of these two pitchers come out there and shove specifically. And as I look at Johnny India, the problem he's got is no experience, no contact against Reese Olson, 2 at-bats, no hits. But I think the rest of the lineup can get the job done. This is just a price play for me here. This is just a simple opportunity to say, I don't understand it. I know Reese Olson, 228 OBA against righties. He is 250 against lefties, and there's Will Benson in the 8 spot, that lefty. Then Stuart Fairchild followed up with Johnny India taking the cake again. Probably the action. Well, at the end of the day, the lefty-righty opportunity, this guy's hitting better than anybody on the team in this spot. The best righty on the team with a 2.66. He's got 192 at-bats, 51 hits, 5 home runs, 28 ribeyes on this game here. He probably ends up going yardstick for us. I'm just taking the ribeye. Give you guys the ribeye play of the day here tonight for me with this plus 210 spot. The number, you know what? He just got one again the other day. Multiple spots out there. There we go. Dana Delp says it's 225 on DraftKings. I like that even more. Let me, I got it. Like I said, for my record keeping purposes here, I got to make sure that I use those best numbers that are out there. The numbers tell you that he's going to get one like every 4 in that case, at least based on some of the math and the implied probability. He's got a double his last 4 home games in a row. The team against this spot with Detroit's been hitting the ball too. The other day they had that rain delay, so their bat should come in refreshed and recharged and ready to attack. So no need to belabor it. I'm on Johnny India. We'll keep this pace rolling for you guys. I got 2 plays for you in this Minnesota game. Here we go with the official grandma wearing your sister's panties again play of the day is Minnesota and the under 7.5 at plus 270. I took a little nerfy action. I don't see me giving too many nerfy plays. I gave that parlay the other day. We went 1-1. It was Detroit that cashed the nerfy. It was Toronto that shit the bet on the nerfy. Then we look at this game with Minnesota and Houston. We've got this number open up at minus 146 for Minnesota. It's now minus 154. We have 78% of the bets and 48% of the cash on the Twins. 91% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the over 8. I got a case into action because all these numbers, everything always shows the overs, but they were broken like 4 weeks ago, when we were doing the NHL. There was like no cash flow splits on these games. And then all of a sudden everything just kept coming in, pumping in on the over and the lines weren't moving. So that could be the case. And that's fine if that is the case, but with all that money coming in on the over, we got no movement. It's Pablo Lopez with a 4.88 ERA, 8-6 on the season, and Dubin at 4.91, 1-1 for the Stros. Keep this short, sweet, to the point for you guys. We'll pick up some pace here and get you guys rolling on to tonight. The Twins, 6-0 straight up and 6-0 to the under, going under by 3 runs a game, off a favorite spot, and a game that had 10 or more runs in it. We talked about this last week and the week prior. When the Twins bats get hot, they stay hot and they hit in clusters. They all start working together in unison to drive runs in. And I'm not entirely sold on this Astros team. They've made a good move here in their last 30 days to get themselves to a 500 ball club, but I'm not buying it. Not buying it at this point. I think there's opportunity for this Minnesota Twins team. 6-0, as I mentioned, 6-0 to the under. That's how I ended up with the Minnesota and the under 7.5 at plus 270. Now the number's 8, so they're taking that half a run out of there. That's telling, in my opinion, especially seeing that those runs go under 3 spots a game out there. That half a run should make a difference. If you want a same game parlay, take your juice down to like plus 220. You could do that. You got the push and play. You'll still cash if Minnesota wins. And I do expect Minnesota to win. But in that same scenario, the nerfy is 5-1. And I got that nerfy on FanDuel at minus 104. FanDuel does have really good nerfy and yerfy numbers, by the way. Their prop plays, like UFC props, are through the roof. They're phenomenal. Goal scoring props. We were taking some soccer props earlier today with Fan. They do some things well. Their sides and totals suck though. When they're better, you're fucked. But I think in this case here with Minnesota, minus 104 and that 5-1 spot, that's action I absolutely want to get into. And there's my guy Coogie Cam. What up, pimp? Let's get this money. What up, Cam, man? It's good to see you. Hope you're having yourself a nice summer. Michael Buena. There we go. Michael B., I thought it was you. I don't want to put you on blast, but you volunteered it. I'll celebrate it. Cashed $890 driving home last Saturday on 2 fights. I think we cashed on 9 of 12 or something crazy like that. It's true. It's fucking true. It's absolutely true. We missed the Can Man, though. I know he was doing some other things, but we did cash a lot and made a ton of cash with it. And, Jeff was running the board trying to get up to he's trying to get up to that first place spot and get that contest winner. But, hey, more fun things to come, you guys. That's a lot of fun. Cookie, though, it's great to see you. It's great to see all you guys. Oldie, Dana Delp, Matty Ice dropping in here, Gerald Jones, Michael Blana sharing the victories and success. Ice Viking says 1 championship starts soon. You know what? I am not the guy to. I could probably figure it out, but I suck at I suck at some of that shit. I don't follow enough of the regional stuff. Maybe Coogie's good at that stuff. Maybe Coogie's the 1 championship guy. Coogie, I don't know if you follow any of the regional circuits and things like that, but I've heard a lot of people talking about 1 championship. Trisha says, ain't nobody want to mess with them boys. That's a blessing. Oh, Coogie says, yeah, I was right behind Jeff. I had Yuri Prohaska, and I dumped about $750 on it, and I still won fucking comma, and then some. I almost had a 5-digit day after dumping almost $1,000 on that last fight. That's how much of a fucking winner it was. I was also heavily intoxicated. So, nonetheless, you guys, we can't do anything about that. Let's talk about this next game for you guys. Keep this pace moving. I know you guys got lots of things to do, and you could be anywhere else, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Kansas City Rockies spot here, -194 for the Kansas City Royals. Now sitting at -180, 79% of the bets and 96% of the cash on the Royals. Reverse line movement. It's also dropped 7 cents on the Rockies from +162 to +155. Line of 10.5 has not moved from 10.5. Starting to see some 10s. A few 10s out there. 44% of the bets and 66% of the cash on the over in the spot here. It's Cole Ragans. Kevin Freeland. Ragans 3.33 ERA, 5-6 on the season. Freeland 7.94 ERA. He's got the offer. He's 0-3. I don't know why I chuckle when I say that. I mean, I guess he's making a ton of money, so I don't feel bad for him. But the Rockies did have a nice 2-2 series tie against the hottest team in baseball, if you ask Joe T, and the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Royals. We cashed that first 5. They came back to win that game. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they didn't. They shit the bed. They sucked. It was 10-8, though. I was looking at the wrong thing. 10-8, though. Simply put, the way I chose to approach this one here, can he go out there and handle this Rockies lineup? I expect so. Ragans kind of plays that game. He's got the spin. He's got the spin rate. He plays the corners. And he definitely generates a nice strikeout rate out there. Around 15%. Now, the Rockies do have a 3.14 OBA against lefties. Southpaws have come to play, but with that OBA, they're striking out at 25% as well against them, them Southpaws. On the other side of things, Kyle Freeland, this guy's bag of shit status. Hitting galore. He's got a 7.94 ERA, as I mentioned. He's got the 1.8 whip. The Royals, that series against Tampa Bay, every single game showed that it should have been over. They're average the last week or so against lefties particularly, but third highest OBA across baseball with a 3.49 and a 2.15 ISO. They should have no problem getting the bat on the ball, especially with the fact that they're at Coors. Now, I saw a lot of people jumping in. They love this Kansas City first 5 -0.5. They love the full game -1.5. Favorites are small dogs. Awful loss is a dog or small favorite. 3-25 when they face a lefty and a high total, 10 or more. Favorite or small dog, took a loss, dog or small favorite against a lefty, high total. Well, there's really only 2 spots that meets the mustard. Coors and Wrigley. 3-25, losing by almost 4.5 runs a spot. That suggests that Colorado is a live dog in this game. I'm not laying -0.5 and -140. I'm not laying -0.5 and what's the -0.5 right now? Now that I say that, watch me be like, oh yeah, I will. That's not terrible. minus 120. Oh, FanDuel's got the best number. FanDuel's got the best number. I got to get a button and push the alert whenever FanDuel's got the best number so we can start taking note of it. Point is, Kansas City to win the first 5 and Kansas City to win the full game was an even money spot. That's how I wanted to get paid in that game. Look, 1 unit spot for me. I'm just going to stack it on that game and let it fly. They got to win the first 5. They got to win the full game. I don't care if it's 1 run on each side of it. Maybe I'm looking back at it and going, well, I kept no, my ROI is going to be higher than dropping minus 140 on the first 5 in a case like that. And I think it's Raggins. I think he's the guy that can go out there and get the job done. We see that this Kansas City Royals team's got that tremendous OBA 350, 3rd highest in baseball, and they're going into Coors. What? One of the hottest hitting teams in baseball all of a sudden is not going to find success in Coors? I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to. Maybe, but probably not. And what I would think about here, we know that if Kansas City loses the first 5 or it's a push and I lose that bet, I will then at that point look to take a Kansas City spot after the first 5, like around the 6th or 7th inning. I'll try to jump in there and take that minus 1 just to get that unit back. So kind of the recovery mode. We don't spend a lot of time talking about the live betting strategy on the recovery mode, but that would in fact be it. All right. 2 more games left in baseball for you guys here. The first game I want to talk about is Kevin Gausman. This line for the Mariners opened up at minus 146. It's now minus 134. 80% of the bets, 46% of the cash on the Mariners. This total, however, starting to come down. 7.5. So we're seeing 7s. 81% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over. 4.75 ERA for Gausman. Castillo, 3.87 ERA. Blue Jays are my favorite AL East team. You guys might not have thought that, knowing how much I shit all over Kevin Gausman and this pitching staff. I look to fade Jose Barrios when he's on the road, and we might get that, by the way, this weekend. So keep your eyes on Barrios. Road spot, minus 125 to plus 125. As a matter of fact, I almost guarantee we're going to see that this weekend, and we will fade his ass. But not tonight. Not with Gausman. 3 things for this game. First, 4 things. I'll give you guys 4 quick things. First, Toronto Blue Jays played on Canada Day. Only 3 teams did. Everybody else had the benefit of rest. Toronto had Canada Day spot. They're traveling. Probably the longest travel distance you could have in Major League Baseball next to Seattle to Miami is Toronto to Seattle. Got customs to deal with as well. 3, Kevin Gausman, despite his 4.75 ERA and thinking, well, that's not really that bad. He's 7.88 his last 3 games. That is bad. Not quite double, but he's at least 1.5 times worse. The Blue Jays play like shit on the road, and Castillo traditionally is the slot starter spot. So we heard Jay Peasy drop that in the video the other day where the days of the week matter, typically because of how the starting rotation goes and where these guys fall in as far as who they're matching out there against. So you're giving me the Seattle Mariners starter. You're giving me Gausman, who's got an almost 8 ERA his last 3 games, in this travel spot with no rest for this Toronto team. And it's only minus 120 for the first 5? Yep. Minus 117 for Bet Rivers and minus 122 for FanDuel. Check the box. We got ourselves another box checker. 117 for Seattle on the first 5 for me is a way I am attacking that game. And I was going to add this last spot. Markel says, God damn it, Mike. I'm about to bet Seattle now. I only went to the first 5. In that spot out there. Subhuman says 1 championship. Okay, money line. Michael Buena. I had choice words for the boys after that. The next day, I said, "What you guys let me put the whole bankroll on that thing for?" Look, I cashed out after that. Well, after that night, I took some cash and I threw it in the account because those are those stupid kind of things that work out to your favor. And that guy, I literally said it, Michael Buena. That guy was planning dinner at 7 p.m. and at 8 p.m. he was in the gym trunks getting ready to go in the octagon. That was like, that's free money. That's free money. Ricky Bobby. Sprinkle Bobby Wood Jr. walk at plus 220. Interesting little spot there. Rod Z says, how many Jays fans will be in Seattle seats, Mikey? 0? That's a tricky spot, though, Rod Z, because I'd imagine that being Canada's team, there's probably some folks that are sitting there on the fringe around the border that maybe do like some Canadian teams. Maybe 10%. Rod Z, tell me if you think 10% is a fair number to cap how many Toronto fans will be in the stands. JPZ says, love the Mariners tonight. That should have been my video. Wow, there you go, you guys. You get another look from JPZ himself. Let's see if this last game got where I wanted it to go. All right. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to skip that one. Let's talk about, speaking of Canada, I got to take the draw in this Venezuela-Canadian game. Not a lot to talk about. I don't need to belabor the point here. This is a draw opportunity for me. Looking at these two teams, what have we seen? First of all, these quarters across the board. Spain, does get to every quarterfinal game I've watched has gone to draw. These teams get scared. I love what Dan Doherty was talking about and Sub yesterday. They were talking about these guys not want to go out there and get cards because they want to be in those big games. So, they're going to play a little bit more conservative. These teams are fine, especially going to penalty kicks and getting the job done there. And we've seen what's happened. This line is coming down. The draw at start of show was plus 200. It's now plus 190. I get the under. I was looking at these numbers. To me, this was just a line opportunity where I was looking at these numbers and I see the draw and the under is like plus 240. They're pretty convinced it's going to be, well, at least the under. Both teams to score yes is minus 110. Both teams to score no, minus 120. Both teams to score no in the draw is minus 340. I had to take the draw. I know it's not pretty and it's a lot that goes into this thing here to get it done. I'm not going to fuck around with the side and find out. Listen, I get you guys with Venezuela, and it's Venezuela's Independence Day yesterday. Those are two separate, isolated incidents to me. Canada's got some experience playing on the big stage, having made that World Cup, opportunity their last go round with it. This is a big deal for Canada. I'm not entirely convinced that Canada's not the spot here. This line has now moved back to Canada minus 105 to advance as well. So we're ping-ponging between the draw and Canada to advance. I'm not going to put that in the ether for all of you guys and girls that are looking for Venezuela to win, but my money's going to be just on this draw. I'm just fucking around with this draw, and we'll see if I find out. Rod Z says 35% of Jays fans as they all file into Seattle. It's a 30-minute ferry ride. Yeah, I could see that. I guess that's a better number. Oldie says, stupid. Yeah. I don't know if you're talking about my bankroll situation. JPZ says, Blue Jays plane still hasn't landed in Seattle yet. JPZ, is that true? Is that true, JPZ? 10% of 0 is what Oldie's guess was out there. And Oldie says, ferry, is this the Oregon Trail? Dana Delp says, Canada 0-0 is plus 650. You know what? I'm gonna probably get to that as well. I'll probably get to that, and I'll probably look at 1-1 as well, just in case. Just in case, because that draw on the under 1.5 seemed very enticing. And then when I went to click it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I better not. Vitalis, as Vitalis. You said Jose Bouquet, and I started running through the Rolodex, Vitalis. He says, Jose Bouquet started that Venezuela will teabag Canada tonight. Jesus, stated that. Wow. I don't know about that. Rod Z says, the Black Bull ferry leaves Victoria, British Columbia. Trap God thinks it could easily be 0-0. Trisha M says, Vitalis, he said that wearing his prep uniform and pre-ball drop. Rod Z says, Vladdy has crushed home runs in his last 2 games in Seattle, plus 380. Holy shit. Holy shit. JPZ says, no, he wasn't serious. John says, when does that Humbert match restart? 4 a.m., I think. I think it's 4 a.m. Hang on, guys. Give me just 1 second here while I want to make sure I get this in. Now that we're here and I want to talk tennis with you guys, let me Let me make sure I get this in. Okay. Silent Rob says, y'all streaming this game later. There should be a stream going on out there. I'm pretty sure there will be. Stephen Gregory says, good job. Game is played in states because Venezuela and Canada don't have street lamps. I was just thinking of we used to go to Canada quite a bit when I was growing up playing hockey, and then some juniors and and even after that, because my brother's a couple of years younger, and at 19 you could drink in Canada. I was thinking of a street lamp story that was running through my head, but let's go. Let's wrap this thing up, you guys. I have three plays for you guys in the world of tennis tomorrow. The Wimbledon opportunity. We're in round 3. It's a big deal. Lots of moving parts as we look at this thing here. And first and foremost, there is a huge fucking steam move here on Emil Ruusuvuori. I said it fast. It almost kind of sounds right. Emil Ruusuvuori opened up at plus 135s. Now down to plus 105. Let me check on DraftKings and see if that's still the best number. I'm only using DraftKings here because I want to keep it rolling. Want to give you guys this action and get you guys paid and on your way out tonight. So bear with me. Men's tennis. It's probably going to be 4 a.m. when that Humbert match restart, which is fucked. He wins the first set 7-6. He wins the second set 6-3. He loses the next set 7-6. Now it's 6-6. He needs one more point to go out there and shut him down. But plus 105 is still the best number for Emil Ruusuvuori. And I like the spot here. Not to mention the steam report. But how about the dog? In the rolls with Ruusuvuori, the dog has covered 6 straight main draw matches when they're out there in Wimbledon. It's a big opportunity in Wimbledon to get the job done. And we see the steam report showing us Emil Ruusuvuori is the guy. Big movement against him. I would take it early, though, because by the time the morning rolls around, this thing might have gone from plus 105 down to minus 105 even. So there's late action to be had here. The report came out when I was sitting around plus 135. So it has moved. I'm sharing it with you guys. It's a play I will be invested in. That matchup starts at 6 a.m. tomorrow, allegedly. Let's go to the Argentinian righty, Francisco Camasana. Lorenzo Musetti's on the other side of things here. Shout out to our guy, Ramon Scott. He talked about the darling of the tournament so far seems to be this Argentinian coming out there, battling everybody. On the other side of things, because of where Lorenzo Musetti is ranked, he's 25th in the world on the ATP tennis rankings. His path to get here in this third round hasn't been all that enticing. Francisco's done nothing but go out there and eat raw meat. Even in the qualifying opportunities before he got here, I don't think he's fucking around. Specifically, we look at Musetti. This guy doesn't fare well against righties. Ramon Scott was talking earlier today. He said 85% of the men's tennis is right-handers. Remember, we took the 15% spot there with Humbert today. Flip side of things here is that lefty-righty matchup. He's not good at the spin and the torque the ball comes in, especially as it comes up off the turf, off the grass. He's lost 5 in a row in the third round against righties. Again, his path to victory. Now, here's the way I'm playing this one. It's plus 475. I got to change I think I got to change this thing. I do. We had that. There he was. Now we got this. Big dogs. Delays. All kinds of fuckery happens. These guys, especially a number 25 in the world, has been there before. So he knows exactly what the hell's going on, how to do it. And these tenured, experienced players, they go out there and they play chess. They want to see what the other side does. They want to see how do they move left to right. So it's a huge step up in class for Camasana. But at the same time, it's kind of a decent step up in class from current competition for Musetti. He's not good against the righties. And that chess versus checkers thing, a guy like Musetti is not afraid to let this thing go 5 sets deep. But he might take that L in the first set just to try to figure out how to go out there and strategically advance against. So the reason I've shared this with you guys with both what the full game is in the first set, I'm doing a half a unit on Camasana. I'll count it as a full unit. It's fine, but a half a unit on Camasana at plus 475 for the full game. Half a unit. Full unit on the first set at plus 230. I think it might, even if Musetti does come out there and get the win, I still expect him to take some time to make the adjustment against the righty in this particular stage of the game. The third round is huge. All those gatekeepers are gone. All those underqualifiers, those low-ranked regional qualifiers that got here have been mopped up and cleaned out. Nobody's done it better than Musetti at this point. But I got to take my shot. Full unit on the first set. I'm going to half a unit. Now, if tonight goes the way it is, that might very well beef up to a full unit. And then the last tennis play for you guys here. Hopefully you like this tennis stuff. Just taking a look at the card and how I'm getting paid on these things. It's nice. I can set it early. I put it away, have some cocktails, go do my thing, and wake up in the morning, and ideally I'm winning. So we've had a nice run in tennis as well. Even the plays I gave out on Jimmy's show yesterday, the 2 tennis plays, we still made like a third of a unit. We went 1-1, took a shot with the big dog, and then cashed the plus 130 with our girl. So speaking of our girl, let's go to women's tennis. Here's another spot. Another underdog opportunity. Collins versus Adid Maya. Probably the matchup of the tournament thus far on the women's side of things. It's the number 11 in Danielle Collins. It's the number 20 in Bella Haddad Maya. Beatrice Haddad Maya. Battle. Recently, gone out there. Collins hasn't really played anybody. This is another situation where the step up in talent is going to be a big deal. And Haddad Maya doesn't care if she's in the dog role. 7 of her last 8 spots at Wimbledon in the dog spot have been victorious out there. So she don't care. She's a carnivore. She eats raw meat. And she's gone out there and she's played some great form at this point. Kind of coming into the tournament, she had a doubles matchup too. I always like when they have the doubles matchup because it tells me that they are trying to get in form. They are trying to figure the court out. And then usually what happens is we start to see them get to a point like this, where they're at this point of the tournament going into the third round. They'll just fuck off on those double spots. And she took that loss because now she's not getting the rest. She's not trying to figure out the court advantages. She wants to go out there and slay this dragon that is Danielle Collins. She's plus 145. It's a spot that I want to get paid on, and that's how I choose to get to the window. So there's 3 tennis plays that I am involved with for you, boys and girls. Maya plus 145, Rusevori plus 105, Kamasana plus 475, first set plus 230 action. I'm taking that draw in Venezuela and Canada. Baseball action, Seattle first 5 minus 117. Kansas City first 5, Kansas City full game plus 100. The Nerfy in Minnesota minus 104. Minnesota and the under 7.5 at plus 270. Give me some Johnny India ribeyes. We got the White Sox first 5 under 4.5. The Red Sox plus 120. And the first 5 under 4.5. Cardinals, look at this. 2-0 already. They're down in this battle. Not where I wanted to see, but hopefully Sonny Gray can fall back into form. I appreciate all you guys rocking tonight with us. Appreciate you taking the time here. I know we went a little bit longer than I expected. Always say it's going to be fast, and yet here we go. Jay Peasy, you know my weakness. You know my weakness, Jay Peasy. But shout out to all you guys. I love all you guys, man. I hope you guys have a glorious weekend. I'm looking forward to getting this cash tonight and going and rolling right into the weekend. So keep your eyes on the channel. We'll get some videos out there for you guys with plays that we have throughout the weekend. I'm going to go out there and chop up this video that we did yesterday for these next 2 quarterfinals in the Euro action. Venezuela is going to be a lot of fun against Canada tonight. And it makes it a lot of fun when you guys come out and hang out with us and me specifically. Love to see your best bets. And I appreciate all you guys just supporting what we're trying to do here. Trying to grow. I mean, talk about listener supported, man. We are truly in the infancy, trying to learn everything all at the same time. And the fact that you guys hang in there, put up with it, means a ton. We all want to get that cash. And there's Ramon Scott. I just shouted him out. Old E, J PZ, Justin McCalvey, Deer Slayer Ski, Stephen Hairston, Nasty Nate telling you guys hit that like button. Cliff Yang. Let's go, Michael Buena. Rod Zawacki dropping in the house out there. Silent Rob, Stephen Gregory, Johnny C in the house. Trisha M, Trap God, Vitalis. Love all you guys, man. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. NJ Stryker, Markel, Cookie Cam, Ricky Bobby, Subhuman Gaucho, Billy Briz. Here we go. Billy Briz bringing in some. I missed it, Billy. My bad, my guy. There we go. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. I'm going to write it down. And again, I appreciate all you guys. Respect. I hope you guys have a glorious summer weekend. Get that money. And I'll see you guys back here Monday to Friday. Sports Money, pre-gaming. Keep showing the love and support. Get your comments in the videos with your best bets.